Counts it 2. Can we make it, baby? Baby, are you taping? Baby, are you taping?
Can you smell it? There's a life force in here tonight. I'm not gonna give you a light. I'm gonna show you the light. Woo! So entertaining! The cinematography, the editing techniques. Though I must say, the villain was a bit over the top.
Welcome to Monkey Bears Monday. Let me go ahead and welcome on YouTube, Rumble, Twitch, Kick. Thank you for joining me. I got a pretty decent action-packed funny one for you. We're going to check out some dispensary looting. Something I found that was very funny. Some apocalyptic, basically slop buckets, but food storage buckets. The scam of the century. I saw about half of it and I was about to piss on myself. How y'all doing out there tonight? I hope everybody is enjoying themselves, because I know that I am. I definitely know that I am enjoying myself. So let's see who's out there. Wild Bill, how you doing out there? Yeah, it's not my last smoke before bed tonight. Oh shoot. I don't blame you. I got sent home early today, so I'm kind of lucky. But nonetheless, I'm glad you could join us, Wild Bill. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and try and get these laughs in for you. Let me not slow roll it, but first, I found it very interesting that anytime there's some kind of protest nowadays, it seems to turn into some kind of riot in these major cities. So I wanted to actually take a look at some of the footage and really see how much they came out with. So let's get into it, shall we? Where we at? There we go.
You're looking at least 4 different locations this morning.
Here we go.
Showing a wild night of looting in downtown LA. Overall, there were 7 stores that were hit. Many of those stores targeted were on Broadway.
Eyewitness News reporter Carly Gomez live in downtown LA. Carly, what's the latest where you are?
Yeah, early this morning right now, what we're dealing with is mostly clear scenes. A lot of the looters...
It don't look too bad.
All that's left is a lot of glass and a lot of repair work to be done. What you can see here is people...
Okay, now I do look kind of bad. My bad.
As most of that was kicked in, 2 of the doors actually shattered and brought to the ground. Now this is being put up, the plywood here. Stores have been looted overnight with some arrests made as officers fought off some of the suspects. Earlier this morning, police staged at least 4 major intersections with police presence here on Broadway, but have since left.
Oh yeah, that's okay. Oh shoot.
We know overnight the Adidas store, a jewelry store,
You got to turn down this volume.
Palace,
My
a
bad.
dispensary, not just 1 but 2, and a pharmacy have been broken into and looted. Most of the stores on Broadway have been looted. I mean, a lot of them are multiple stores that were the majority of them have been on Broadway.
What a come up.
Police vehicles have also been defaced. Mayor Bass holding a briefing at the Emergency Operations Center today to update us all on protests as Marines are on the way.
What?
You can't possibly be supporting immigrants and vandalize our city. And understand that if you do that and it is 100% unacceptable, you will be arrested, and it might not happen that day. So don't think because you went home that night that you are free. There's a lot of videotape. There's investigations that will take place, and
They
you will
coming
be
to
held
get you.
accountable, and frankly,
We
you will
coming
be
to get
separated
you.
from the people who are really fighting on behalf of our immigrant community.
Okay.
Trump sending in 700 Marines and another 2,000 National Guard members.
Yeah, this was a couple
Marines
days
left
ago.
29 Palms last night, and they are here now. We have not seen them.
I wanted to see more looting. I wanted to see people throwing bags in the air.
Will arrive. Now, live back out here, some of the crowds from overnight have mostly
Here we go.
left. What we're seeing here is a lot of glass on the ground. This is another dispensary that was broken into overnight on Broadway. This is MedMen. You can see all of that glass just shattered across the floor. Some of the products lying there as people just went in,
Ripped it out, yeah.
And go. And actually, during our first live shot earlier this morning, we were down by the Adidas store, and then just in the distance, we could see just a group of people start breaking right back into the store and pulling out as much as they could. The police at that point in time had already left the scene. So what we've been noticing here is as soon as police take another call, another group of people end up going to another store.
They just going back and forth. Wow. I'm too scared to do it, but it's the thrill of it while it's happening. My goodness. And I wonder how many had masks and actually are going to get away. I'm sure it's a small percentage, but still, my goodness. I wish we had heard some numbers. I didn't hear any of that. And, you know, they lost $1 million, $2 million worth of damage, losing $1 million worth of merchandise. I didn't hear any of that. So a little disappointed. But I am about to fire it up. So if you would please join me. Where we at?
You are coming with me. Dead or alive, you are coming with me.
Yeah. Let's fire this bad boy up and enjoy ourselves. Hope you had a nice day. As I said, I got off of work early, so I am totally jamming and enjoying myself. And glad you're out here joining me. Cheers. Yeah, like I said, I was a little disappointed with that footage, because I'm not really seeing much out there. I wanted to see some actual, like, closed circuit TV and some more stuff. Man. Oh, well, let's load up the next video. Let's kind of keep the last rolling. A little more high energy. I think my family was a little upset with me. Excuse me, coming out the stream. So I got to make this efficient. Trying to do the best job I can in the quickest amount of time before anybody get mad at me. Here we go. Oh, okay, yeah, this is something I was into. Urban Legends. Okay, yeah, this was something that really intrigued the hell out of me. I'm not sure how many laughs we're going to get, but we are going to be entertained. I am very sure of that. Where you at? Yeah, where the video at? Oh, okay. My bad. All right. I was so smart, I tricked myself. I definitely tricked myself. So going through this rainy period, I could sure use some sunlight. I've sure got enough of this wetness. That's kind of the sucky thing about outdoor growing. You are totally dependent on the weather. But I guess this overall helps. New Jersey, we were getting a lot of air quality warnings from the wildfires they had, and I'm hoping this has something to do with clearing out the air. Then at the end of the week, we can get back to some growing right before everything flips to flower. But we got a little less than a month. So I need the sunlight to just bake, baby. So, how's everyone out there doing tonight? I feel great. Had a great time yesterday, as a matter of fact, being out there. 5 hours. Jeez, that's a quick little nap there, but that's good for you, Wild Bill. There we go. So let's go ahead and get on our next video and keep this thing high energy. Where we at? Where we at?
There was a rumor, just a whisper, a single baseball card that wasn't even supposed to exist.
Every year, all the Major League Baseball players gather to have their pictures taken for various baseball card companies.
But when Baltimore Oriole Billy Ripken posed for his picture, there were two
shit.
words written on the knob of his bat.
Before Google, before Reddit, before Snopes, we had playgrounds.
I got who cares about Billy Ripken?
And every now and then, something would...
No, I'm telling my age, but I'm definitely can remember half of the stuff that they showing up here. Billy Ripken, like, man, am I that old? Sheesh, Cal Ripken, man, I am old. Come on, baby. Don't mess with me. There we go.
Like a ghost story.
The first card surfaced a few weeks ago. No one could believe it.
Something so weird, so impossible, it had to be true. Or at least, we needed it to be true.
Baseball card experts say if you find one, hold on to it, but don't let your children see it.
We didn't have screenshots or viral tweets. Finding evidence was hard. We had someone's older brother, a cousin from out of town, a lie you wanted to believe.
Something like
This
that.
isn't a story just about a baseball card. It's about a moment in time when a mystery could breathe and when a single printing mistake turned a forgettable player into an underground legend.
Oh,
Fleer
shoot.
Corporation is responsible for allowing the card to slip into the public's hands. Fleer's president would not return my calls.
Card company saw it, enhanced it, and produced it for their own gratification.
I know what it looks like to me, but I wouldn't say it on television.
This is the story of face.
Oh, shoot. That's what was on the bottom of the bat. Oh, shoot. And little kids got a good old hold of it, huh?
Post office.
That is,
I have
it's got to be
right here
priceless.
inside this package.
Like the
something
Mickey
that's gonna make
Mantle.
This project just even a little bit more exciting.
What's
you
that?
see, because I have a 1989 package of Fleer baseball cards, unopened. And although
Oh,
a box like this
shoot.
would have totally been outside of my budget,
I was,
at
what,
the age
12?
of, say 9 years old. You know, given that I'm 45 years old right now,
I
went
just
on
turned
eBay and
48.
bought one for, I think I got this for like about $50. This is what adult money.
Oh, that ain't that
today.
bad. I would have thought that the entire, like, one car would be worth $50 or something like that. That's not bad for that, but I'm guessing they didn't have great overall seasons sometimes. So I remember when my friends were trying to get basketball cards, they were saying that some years weren't as good as others.
What we're going to do is we're going to actually open this up.
Okay.
And we're going to see if we're actually able to secure ourselves a original 1989 Billy Ripken face baseball card. We'll just be opening these packs while I'm
Over
talking to
and
you
over
guys
and over and
some
over
history.
again.
All right, here we go. We're going to open up this first pack.
Oh, shoot.
Had those before?
Yeah, they're Pop Rocks. They crackle in your mouth.
Eat some.
Oh, it's the movie Urban Legends? Drink this soda.
Thirsty? What's wrong? Something you might have heard about mixing Pop Rocks and soda?
Your stomach and your intestines, everything first.
For kids who grew up...
I remember that one.
We had like myth and rumor in a way that was very different.
Yeah, we were
than
scared to
say
even try
kids
it.
Who grow up now, like, you know, now you can like Google everything and every moment that happened. That's something that gets shared across the internet. And the power of
that X-Files?
driven social media feeds ensures that it hits everybody's For You page within the first 48 to 72 hours of a major trend. Everybody knows about it all at once, and it's all they're
Okay.
talking about for like half a minute. You know, you don't even have 15 minutes of fame anymore. You know, I feel like such a...
Damn, you ain't lying about that one.
When I'm saying this.
Them days is over.
In the olden days, rumors would start, and there would be information out there but like you wouldn't have confirmations unless something ran in your local newspaper.
People still read the newspaper?
I do want to emphasize how different we used to receive as well as confirm information that was.
Now that is the total truth. You can slam see the difference. Jesus Christ, I'm old.
Out there. The methods that we used in 1989 are so radically different and foreign to the way we would go about something like this today, both for better and for worse.
Uncle Phil, come try this.
The AI spaghetti.
But for the most part,
Oh,
information, Luis Polonia, it didn't travel nearly the same way that it does today. Hey, the legendary Cecil Fielder. And so debunking things was a lot harder.
Yeah, okay. I knew it had to be some kind of people who played up in there. Cecil Fielder, I know that name. I'm not a baseball fan at all, but I know a lot of names. A couple of my friends were baseball fans, so just from them talking and watching games, I was aware who people were. It was big in our day. The Atlanta Braves was pretty good back in our day, and I guess we had TBS, so they were always on. That and the Orioles was what we were always watching.
And even when it came to your local newspaper, if you missed the newspaper from that day, you would also be screwed, and you'd have to maybe go to your library and find it, and maybe the library didn't have the newspaper anymore, and you had to go look on the microfiche,
microfilm, or whatever.
This was actually a thing that happened in my lifetime, not all that long ago. In this time of no Google or no Snopes or no TikToks that you can quickly watch and see what happened, there was always this one kid who had heard about it or had his older brother tell him about it, and he was the sole source of information for the other kids.
We must consult the oracle.
I actually remember being on the bus.
I like his
coming
cuts.
home from school when a specific kid, who I'm not even going to name by name because I still kind of know him a little bit, he was the one telling me and two other friends about this face baseball card. And I remember when he told me about it, I was sort of shocked.
Yeah.
I couldn't quite believe it.
Yeah, I don't
He said
believe
that
it.
It said on his baseball bat, and it said it was Cal Ripken's brother who had the card, and that's
Okay, I was wondering.
This is always a very fun baseball card.
Yeah, I was wondering if that
He
was
is a
related to the
player,
Ripkins.
He was always kind of mediocre, but he could hit home runs at a time when nobody was really hitting home runs.
Hit deep to left center field, way back, long.
Oh, wow.
Tremendous wallop by Balboni.
Yeah, it was some good pitches. Nolan Ryan, I believe, was still
Hearing about
playing
it
and
on the
whatnot.
bus that first day, the
Randy
next day,
Johnson.
Like when I came back to school, everybody was talking about it. Everybody was so excited about this card, and some of the older kids, because I was in Mrs. third grade, I believe. All the older kids, a couple kids in fourth and fifth grade, were saying that they had seen it.
Oh,
And then
shoot.
One kid started lying and said he had it, but he wasn't allowed to bring it into school, which, looking back on it now, was probably total BS. But again, that is how information worked back then, because nobody could confirm or deny something like that. And so just in a matter of days, everybody was talking about it, that there was this obscene baseball card, to the point where I remember, it wasn't in my class, but it was a different class. One of the teachers had to ban discussion of baseball cards solely because most of the discussion ended up being about the face card.
Oh,
and so yeah, within a
wow.
week, the Billy Ripken face baseball card for me became one of those legends that just firmly burned into my brain and just such a core childhood memory. It probably goes up there with the fact that Mikey from Life cereal died by eating Pop Rocks and Coca-Cola. That was another big myth that I remember. There was the one about if you turn the lights off and on a bunch of times and said
I thought Mikey died. I heard that he did die, but I heard it was from eating too much Life.
Bloody Mary in the bathroom
Oh,
mirror, a ghost would come. I remember that was a big one that a lot of kids were talking about.
Yeah, I remember that.
There was kind of the idea that playing Dungeons and Dragons would sub.
And I'm figuring that's what the Candymans were based off of, the Bloody Mary, even though that was a horror movie too, but looking in the mirror and doing it.
And the devil,
Okay.
That was a true thing. Ooh, here's a Brady Anderson rookie card. Brady Anderson actually, he was on that same Orioles team with Billy Ripken. There was that really problematic relationship that Richard Gere had with the gerbil, as well as That
Oh, yeah.
problematic story about Rod Stewart and having to get his stomach pump on a boat or something, I remember.
Cause yeah, I heard that. It was Rod Stewart, but
And,
yeah, I
you know,
heard
in
that.
hindsight, all of those stories that I'm telling you were like complete BS, and clearly so. But when you were a kid, there was no way to
Prove
debunk it.
anything,
I just
yeah.
wonder if now, if the same thing can even happen.
You don't mean the Catholics, you mean the fake news media. Not the Catholics loved it. I had nothing to do with it. Somebody made up a picture of me dressed like the Pope, and they put it out on the internet. That's not me that did it. I have no idea where it came from. Maybe it was AI. I think it's the fake news media that, you know, they're fakers.
Legends like that,
Fake news.
They kind of
That's old Trump. Fake news.
because they added this air of mystery and the unknown to a world that really had like no mysteries or no unknowns anymore.
I like to think that 1980s urban legends are my generation's equivalent of what Victorian children got to experience with.
I would have to say so. And it was still the campfire stories or like long jokes. I remember a lot of people would have elaborate jokes. Like this person said, there'd be like 4 or 5 characters. Yeah, a lot of these urban legends, I definitely do remember them. It was a lot different time. The world, I'm guessing maybe it was age, but also the time seemed a little more free as well. That, yeah, you could ride your bike all day and it was very unlikely that anything would happen to you. There was a chance, but it was still very unlikely. If you had your wits about you, you would kind of be fine, especially staying in packs. So I do remember these times, and I would have to agree with them. Those urban legends or wise tales, tall tales you tell to your friends or your uncles would tell you, I think those type of things do date back to it. Hence, they made the movie Urban Legend. I think that always piqued people's interest.
Fairy tales. I'm almost a little sad that a myth or a rumor like the Billy Ripken face card can't exist anymore. Ooh, Fernando Valenzuela. You know, the other thing that really stands out to me about a story like this is the fact that now it's like misinformation and disinformation and AI fakes. Like all of those things exist, blending and creating
reality and making it weird.
Very, very dangerous. I kind of almost miss the old-fashioned days where you could have a playground rumor like the Billy Ripken face card and not know if it's true or not. And instead, what we have is like very, very weird things like AI deep fakes. And I mean, I know one of the awful things that a lot of kids are dealing with right now is like AI generated nudes of their classmates, which is reprehensible. Definitely makes me much happier, and
that is a thing, isn't it?
Having obscene baseball cards as the myth and rumor that was out there, not something as
so
awful and damaging.
Seems to be flying
Here
through
we
this.
have the cover box hero of this card, Gary Carter.
He seems to be flying through this box real quick, and he got 3, 4 memorable cards.
Like he's actually the guy who's on the box. There you go, the kid, Gary Carter. Mike Boddicker was actually traded to the Red Sox in a deadline deal back in 1988 from the Orioles.
I mean, I think everyone falls somewhere on the spectrum.
It's so funny how some of these facts also just like stick in your mind, where you can randomly open baseball card packs and talk about a person that you haven't thought about in more than 30 years, and you know, who was like a relatively
something that'll take you back
starter who was traded actually for Brady Anderson, who I'd mentioned earlier. You know, part of why I actually enjoy telling you guys a story like this is because it kind of brings me back to a place of when I was a kid and like what I actually remember. It's a certain innocence that I don't know if kids today have. All right, here's
they definitely don't.
Interesting.
They exposed early.
So, like, you know, baseball cards, they typically come in sheets, right? And then they like cut the sheets. And what you can see here is within this pack, the cards started getting like, you know, because actually the Flanagan card came before the Larry Sheets card. You can see how like the Greg Gagne cut is like off center. This would be considered like an error card of sorts, kind of. As a kid, owning a Billy Ripken card was like a dream that I had. But the rumors of how much it was worth, like it quickly spiraled out of control, and yeah, I don't think it was ever in my price range. Speaking of which, here you go. This is it right here. This card. This is it. This is the Billy Ripken
he found
face
it.
card. I'm holding it in my hand. I literally just found it in a pack. You know, what's interesting about this card specifically is you'll notice that there's this black square right at the end of his bat. So this means that this pack and this card specifically was one of the corrected ones, because after Fleer found out about it, they went like crazy and they decided to like, do whatever they could to correct the error and fix the problem. And so they censored it, was how they did it. It was written on the butt end of the bat. I don't know what the handle of the bat. The end of the handle of the bat, I guess, is technically what it was, but here it is.
Of all of the possible videos to forget the word knob, this was not the right video to do that.
I was hedging my bets, and for I think the package of Fleer cards cost $55, but actually for a mere $60, I was able to procure something else.
Oh, he actually got the
open
card
for you guys if I didn't actually get a Billy Ripken card in there, but since I just got it and I know that I won't get the true uncensored version of the card,
you got too late in edition
package for you right now.
You got the reprint.
That
sucks.
Too. Here it is, and this is actually the real deal. You can see it here. See the F-bomb right there? So, yeah, I got 2 of them here. I think that's really cool. Now, a lot of you guys might be hearing me tell all this story and say, wait a minute, you just spent $55 on an entire box of baseball cards that have,
what?
I think it's a couple hundred in here in the box. And you just spent like another $60 to buy the card that you were saying was so valuable. And back in the 1980s, at its peak, I think this card was valued at like $300. And you might be saying, well, why is it so worthless now when it was worth so much money then?
Yeah.
If you're thinking about it, right? Like in 1989, $300 would be worth $773 today. So why did something that is now 36 years old, why did it not accumulate more value than that? Like, how did it lose so much value? Like, if you do the reverse calculation, right? So $300 was like $773 back in 1989. $60 today would have been worth $23 back then. So again, how did this crazy sought-after, world-changing error card become?
Yeah, I'm confused myself.
It all kind of comes down to the story.
How the heck did that happen?
In the 80s and 90s in general. You see, this was the period of time.
Oh, Steven, how you doing?
The big
welcome.
This was when it started innocently enough. Kids buying packs for the bubble gum. Like, you go back over the last 100 years. I mean, first they started as like things that people would just throw into like tobacco or cigarette packs. And then they decided, well, it's probably not good to do that if we don't want kids smoking. And so then in the 50s and beyond, it became a much more kid-focused hobby. And
there's Roger Maris and Willie Mays and Mickey Mantle. He looks so real.
And with Post Cereal's baseball trading cards, you can get a rundown on all your favorite players.
Hey, talk to me. Mickey Mantle, talk to me.
So start your day a little bit better with Post Cereals.
What's the Astro Boy? That's what you look like, Astro Boy. That's what it was.
Oftentimes, kids would buy the packs.
That is crazy. Yeah, he's got some great clips. I'm really impressed with all the clips he has. He's not joking around. Afternoon, nice. Yeah, I guess it would be. Wow.
For the gum, and then they would just have the baseball cards. And like, I remember my dad telling me that he would like take baseball cards and put them in the wheels of the spokes of his bicycle. And just treated them like crap. But then by the time the 80s rolled around, every collector, kid, or adult had heard some story. You know, someone's uncle had a 1952 Mickey.
So that jacked the price up. Okay.
Tens of thousands of dollars. And that card wasn't just a fluke. It was actually proof that cardboard rectangles could pay for college or a house. So the logic of baseball card collecting really took off and became irresistible.
Baseball cards really capture the action and drama of the game.
That makes sense. Oh, okay.
Fun way for the entire family.
And now all sports suck, so
as a kid,
the value ain't there.
I get all the cards from my favorite teams. Now I buy Topps baseball cards in complete team sets.
Putting the complete all-star
Oh, wow.
Absolutely free. These are genuine Topps cards.
He wasn't playing. Then the 1-800 number. There was a 1-800 number for everything back in the day. Sheesh. I remember what Nintendo and like Nintendo Power, the Nintendo Helpline. Then what, for G.I. Joe action figures to get the Sergeant Slaughter, I would have to call a number to try and get the special one with the USA on his pants. Oh no, G.I. Joe on his pants. That's the one I got. Everybody else, the one you bought in the store, has USA on the side. But you're having to call a 1-800 number.
Baseball cards.
If the 1952 Mantle card was worth so much money, then what about the rookie cards that they were pulling out now? If you held on to them and took good care of them, wouldn't those cards also be worth a lot of money too in the future? But the problem was the 1980s were the era of what was known as junk wax, which, you know, again, you'll notice this pack of cards that I'm opening here. Like, these were what's known as wax packs because the paper used for wrapping the cards themselves was, like, coated in this wax substance. And the problem with the junk wax era was there were lots of collectors and a lot of collector interest out there, but that meant that the baseball card companies, so, you know, Topps and Fleer and Don Russ and even new
Upper Deck
and brands like Upper Deck started to emerge at that time too.
That's when my friends was getting Upper Deck.
Printing insane amounts of cards. And so the reason I can buy an entire box like this for so gosh darn cheap is they printed hundreds of thousands, if not millions of these things out there. And so, yeah, to this day, I can still buy a whole collection of 36 unopened wax packs cards from 1989 for about half the price of my monthly internet bill. But again, back in the 80s and 90s, collecting was just such a huge thing and people were going crazy.
Okay, the same thing for comic books.
The things that they were buying at that time had a lot less scarcity than things that happened, like, say, in the 1950s. But because of the logic of scarcity, that's why error cards like the Billy Ripken card became so valuable. Collectors had been hunting for them. Cards with wrong stats, cards with backwards photos, botched names, mistakes that felt rare. Like, you know, I was showing you these cards earlier, right, where like the cut of
the line is
off center. And even in the 1989 Fleer cards, there was actually another famous error card that came out.
Oh.
Legendary pitcher Randy Johnson.
Yeah.
He actually had in his rookie card, which was in this 1989 pack.
Hold on.
He had a card.
I think because I saw him, he did that twice. He did that when he was with the Diamondbacks, I want to say. Was it the Yankees or the Diamondbacks? But yeah, he has done that twice. Hit a bird with a pitch.
Where he was actually standing in a baseball park. This was back when baseball parks still had cigarette ads. Like, it clearly said Marlboro in the back sign behind Randy Johnson. And they printed the card and it initially went out. But then someone got the idea to say, well, maybe it's not the best idea in the world for a kid-friendly hobby. And so what happened is Fleer went in and they, like, blacked out the Marlboro sign in later editions of the card. And again, that's basically how they handled the Billy Ripken one. But
so he was with the, what's that, the Montreal Expos?
Just the blacking out, like the square here. There were like a whole bunch of them. Somebody had like gone in and like circled it.
Wow.
Blur it out. You know, as you're seeing these were all variations of the same Billy Ripken error card from back in the day. And it was just a matter of
comic books are the exact same way.
Which error card was more rare, what was the condition of it, and like all of those things would end up driving the value. But again,
okay, that's not what I thought this was going to be. I was interested. He's sucking me in because it's such a good video. But yeah, that is not what I thought it was going to be. When I saw Urban Legend and baseball, I thought it was like somebody got murdered or something like that. I didn't know he was going to be hunting for an era baseball card. There's plenty of stuff like that. What the fuck? Spider-Man Annual number 21, where he marries Mary Jane. There is a like miscoloration in one of the issues, and it's only about 30 of them or so like that. And they're like almost, they were worth triple the price of what the regular good version would be. No mistake version was. So, wow. And I guess that's what it was. The economy was good. Things were booming. You could afford to collect. And I guess about 20 years ago, it was kind of the same way. Toy companies were making little runs to come out with old toys. The X-Men run, I believe it was at Hot Toys. So, yeah, good economy, good collecting economy, a seller's economy, I guess. So let me go back into the chat real quick. Yeah, I thought it was going to be a lot different. Dank Tech. How you doing there, Dank Tech? Yeah, I thought this was gonna be a lot different. Okay, my friend just dropped off 5 Radiant 8 HP light reflectors. Oh shoot. Oh man, now you're playing with power. Way to go, Steven. Dang. Thank you for being a friend. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let me see here. Let me go. Let me get the queue up the next video. The kids was scaring me. They out there playing basketball and they keep hitting the garage door. Trying to give me a heart attack or something. But I hope y'all are having a great evening. Where we at? Oh shoot, we up early up in this camp. We got plenty of time. We got plenty of time. Okay, we did the pipe thing. We did that. Okay, we're going to... Yeah, first, let's keep it weed-centric. Because a lot of this isn't weed-centric necessarily. But I'm going to get us into some weed-centric and then get back out of the weed-centric. Still good? Still good. Okay. Still good. All right. So I didn't have to worry about resizing the video or anything like that, nothing like that at all. I was just queuing up a little South Park video. They actually did a little song or compilation about weed. I figured we might as well check it out. Cause I ain't got shit to do. And it's definitely time to fire it up. Fire it up.
Lows and heights, that's right, but that's life. Right now, everything is feeling all right. Everything is feeling all right. I'ma get it right in my own right. Got a 12-pack.
There we go. Are you with me? Oh yeah. Fire it up. Get ready to enjoy ourselves. Our next video, let's see what South Park, Mr. Trey Parker, and I forgot the other dude. Gotta say, what is it, Blake? No, I was about to say Blake Lively.
Want to witness some real, actual history?
I
Back
do.
in the day, George and a few of the founding fathers did have hemp farms because they knew the meaning of hard work and integrity. But then our country did lose its way and began a war on drugs that was and still is just a war on people.
Oh, shit.
And then a bunch of young corporate banker types come along telling us we're all in the new normal as they try and turn God's green miracle into an easy buck for themselves.
Wow. This is really good. This is freaking South Park? Wow. Like, what a take. What a hot take.
They even hire fancy Hollywood directors to make them look all hip and cool.
Uh-oh.
But you know what? Fuck those guys. They ain't got no integrity.
Yeah, cheers everyone. Clink, clink.
Has always been people with integrity, all fighting for the one thing they can agree on.
Oh, that is so cool.
Donating 100% of profits to
He had a storage unit and it was full of brand new grow equipment. Bam.
nationwide. You see, that's integrity. Those other guys, no integrity. Do you want some fucking integrity? Don't you wish everyone had some goddamn integrity? Listen, everyone can. Integrity weed.
That was beautiful. Short but sweet. That was really freaking good. That was really freaking good. I enjoyed that. I'm taking it that's from the video where weed became legal. we became legal and they did that episode. I think I kind of remember the hints of that. I heard it was a real good commercial, but that was so long ago. I finally saw it. Finally. That was nice. There's some very talented people, I think. The show, of course, was exceptional, but once I saw South Park, the movie, all right, man, these dudes, they're just too good. Move over, Kevin Smith. You're not as what am I trying to say? Not as racy as you think you are compared to these dudes. Okay. More weed focus. Okay, cool. Got it. All right, that was quick. Back at him. I'm guessing everybody's garden is going well. Mine is, I mean, I guess it would be like week 5 of veg, but I'm pretty much looking like, for 2 of the plants, it does look like week 5 of veg. The rest of the plants, so what about the 4 other ones? Yeah, it still look like it's like week 2 or 3 of veg. It's pitiful. I've just been getting so much rain, and it's just been so cloudy and overcast at where I'm at. I haven't really had many good days. The chocolate cushion's going good. Yeah, I gotta go out there and cut these trees down and cut this shelter down and just start recording. I've been BSing, but like I said, it's been raining so much. It's really tough to try and cut through wet wood. So I've just been kind of laying back and waiting for my spots, I guess. So let's go ahead and keep the energy up. This video is, I believe it's Big Les, some sort of cartoon, possibly a series, but it's titled Yo Weed. So Big Les, Yo Weed. I'm guessing that's the name of the episode. We're going to go ahead and get into it and be entertained.
You know what I fucking hate?
Okay.
People who ride their bicycle on the road. Just stay the fuck out of the way.
Okay, yeah, here we go.
Fuck. That last joint fucking got me, sassy.
Yeah, I put some dusties in it.
Oh, did ya? Oh, okay. Alright. Yeah, I'm definitely starting to feel it now.
Fuck, I love weed, and hell gets you high and shit. Who doesn't fucking love weed? It's fucking good for you.
They'll fucking legalise it soon.
Yeah, they will. It's a massive government conspiracy.
What do you mean, sassy?
Well, look at it like this, right? One by one, each country has been legalising weed. Soon it's got to be legalised pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, fucking say what?
Well, what's going to happen to everyone when they're all fucking high on legalised weed?
They're going to get the munchies.
They got to get the munchies fucking spot on, Donnie. So then all fucking Cadbury and all that sort of shit's got to bring out new lollies and stuff. Like fucking lemon flavoured pods and all this new shit. And everyone's got to buy all this new munchie food. And the government's got to make a lot of money off it.
What are they going to use all
What the? I really was taking it at face value. I thought he was going somewhere with that. I thought it was going to be a coherent thought. Man, was I duped.
I don't know. What do you think it's got something to do with the pyramids?
Fuck.
The pyramid. The pyramid.
Just worldwide.
Who's that? Yeah, it's fucking Les's kid. What are you guys doing in my dad's storage room?
We're waiting for Les to come back inside so we can smoke up with him.
Yeah, what's he doing out there? He's been fucking ages. Oh, he's outside talking to that Greek mailman. So, you're telling me we're gonna go back to that fucking island? Yes! Now, why the fuck would I want to do that? Well, because... Give me one good fucking reason. We have to go to the centre of the island to destroy the hive. Because if we don't do that, Les, they're all gonna come here. There's already been numerous sightings by the locals, claiming they've all seen really strange activity. Oh, yeah, you know what, Clarence? They're probably the same fucking lunatics that claim they've seen Bigfoot.
Oi, Quinnan, you want to have a turn of this?
Well, I don't know. I've never done that before. Fucking pussy.
What?
It's not that skits hydro, is it? What skits hydro? I heard that people fucking spray their buds with chemicals and shit.
Oh, fuck yeah. Who do you fucking think we are?
Fucking dirty.
Try this, mate. Thrown by the...
They got offended. It was about to straight lynch him. They were not having it. Look at the peer pressure, the shock on his face. Oh my goodness. I need to make that a sticker. Oh my God, how the freak. How you screenshot this? Oh no, yeah, that's a sticker right there, I think. Oh, I can't get you. We good.
Yowies.
It's called Yowie. Oh, I'm nervous. I won't freak out, will I? It'll be fine.
What's up with the voices?
He's gotta get so far. Leslie, the
He's gonna get sci-fi?
It's only a matter of time until they come here and take over. We have to go back to the island, Les, before it's too late. All right, I'll think about it. Now get the fuck off my lawn. My heart's beating really fast. That's normal, isn't it? Oh, I don't know. Is it?
Is that big, Les?
Quinn.
Quit it.
Fuck to your own.
Oh shit.
I smell marijuana. You been smoking pot, Quinnen?
What? Why did he say, I smell marijuana? What was that about? Was that real? Or was that like in dude's mind because his eyes was just so bloodshot?
Huh? Fuck, Dad, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. The Sasquatches, mate. It's about time you fucking became a man, Quinnen. I was starting to get worried. Fire up another, boys. Let's make Quinnen green out.
Oh, fuck yeah. It's making pass out.
And it's like the heads made with Bigfoot. That was good.
You want to have a turn of this?
Well, I don't know. I've never done that before. Fucking pussy.
Oh, that was good, man. That was hella good. That was way better than what I thought it was. It was strange as hell at first. It reminds me of, what the hell was the Beatles thing? The Yellow Submarine? They had a cartoon back in the day that was like a big acid trip. And that's exactly what that reminded me of, a big acid trip. Where we at? Let's see the chat. That's called, my fault, Wild Bill. That is Big Les, and the episode was Yo Weed, but big L-E-Z, Big Les. How did I? I'm trying to look at the video and see. Actually, that's all it said. I think I found it from looking at Cannabis TV shows. I think that's the wormhole I was going down, looking for stuff like that, where I found the last couple of weed cartoons. But Big Les is the name of that. They said it was Facebook. They do have a bunch of episodes of different cartoons. I guess these people have done like weed-based cartoons and a few playlists. And I found that one there. Seemed pretty interesting. The thumbnail at least was hooked me. So before I start talking too much trash, let me get the next video queued up. Then we can sit back and relax and chat. Yeah, that was pretty good. I'm gonna keep that around because of the dude's face. The human was like he was making cat and mouse faces. He was all sad and his eyes was all big and bloodshot. And then when he spoke, oh my goodness. Like when he was high and the dude caught him, that was funny. I would love to see more myself. So what do we have here? Okay. Bong, okay. This is the food bucket video. I might as well break it out. I was trying to avoid it because it's like got somewhat of a religious tone to it, but forget all of that. It's the grift of it. Dude is trying to get big money from people. It's like one of the biggest scams, one of the biggest grifts ever. And the highlight of it is he's gonna sample his product live on air. And oh man, I would buckle up for that. That's worth everything. It's a lot to put up with, but there's definitely some freaking highlights. So, as I was saying, I believe that the end of this week is when the garden is going to be exposed to some light. The rain should lift, and then hopefully I'll get a chance to kind of spruce everything up, have it looking good. And I actually really want to go live probably next Sunday and tend to the garden. I said for like half of it, or like, you know, however long it takes, 30, 40 minutes. Tend to all the plants, take a look at them, and then come back inside the garage and do the rest of the show in here. I just been so behind and so BSy, so drained, but I feel good, calm, and I'm ready to maintain right now and enjoy myself. Yeah, that cartoon was really, really, really good. I'm proud of it. So 2 out of 3 so far. I was a little disappointed with the dispensary looting. I wanted to see a little more than a gate busted up and a bunch of product on the floor. I could see that at any alley near me. I want to see closed circuit TV of people breaking the glass and like throwing the register open and ripping open vape cartridges and stuff flying over and people falling because vape cartridges on the floor and they don't know. Maybe even possibly being hurt so bad that when the police show up, they still there on the floor. But yeah, I didn't get any of that whatsoever. What a disappointment. What a ripoff. But that baseball urban legend, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be, but it turned out to be pretty decent. He had an ace up his sleeve the whole time. We did get to see that the urban legend was actually real. And it was nice to go down memory lane with him, I thought, if nothing else. And then that cartoon, Big Les, Yo Weed. That was the voice. Like, I didn't know where they were coming from at first, but oh, it got me. That was some laughs. So let's go ahead and get this one. Let's watch King Grift right here. This is Jim Baker from back in my day when I was little. He was married to a lady named Tammy Faye, and she used to have a ridiculous amount of makeup on her face, like Road Warrior, a level amount of makeup on her face, and she would make herself cry so the stuff would like run down and be all weird patterns and streaks. It was like, I guess that splash paint style art all over her face, but like silver, and it was glitter in it, and it was blue and turquoise and purples, and yeah, it was kind of scary for me when I was little, but I definitely didn't forget it. And she was like the original butterfly eyelash lady. She was done up. But anyway, I guess they found out that Jim Baker was gay or something like that, and they got a divorce. Or she was just better at making money without him and didn't need him. He was dead weight. So now he's forced to sell end of the world apocalyptic meal buckets. So here we go.
Welcome to the Jim Baker Show. Here are your hosts, Jim and Lori Baker.
Hey! It reminded me of like an episode of Tool Time. What was it? Home Improvement. Yeah, it reminded me of an episode of Home Improvement. They try to act like they're having fun. Ain't none of them related. He ain't their daddy. That ain't his first wife.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Gray Street. Hi there. The man who discovered the blood moons is here with us. Yes, Mark Bills is back home. Thank you for coming.
The fast food restaurant head mics.
One thing, I don't know how many.
The fast food restaurant head mic. Here we go.
I think most of you here do because your audience is pretty sharp.
Oh, they are.
Where the food bucket?
But just like you celebrate your birthday every year on your birthday.
Oh, I don't want to see that part. We gotta get right to the food buckets. Where they at? We ain't about to watch the 700 Club. With a food bucket. Here we go. I see a wall of food buckets.
We'll be right back after this special message.
Oh, that's the whole episode. Oh, okay, I got the raw footage.
Doomsday clock for global market crash.
I thought this was gonna be edited footage. I'm sorry. Oh man, this is the raw. Yeah, here we go. Here we go.
Yesterday was the last day to order and get prepared.
This offer comes with 22 buckets, plus a bonus of 6 additional buckets for a total of 28 buckets.
I want to show you something. All this food is for a gift of $2,500.
28 buckets of food. I guess it's powdered food that you gotta add water to. And his plan is for like the apocalypse, the end of times. What's the joint in the Bible? Not the the rapture, but what's the joint? Revelations. Yeah, this for like the end times. So when the end times happens, you'll be prepared and you'll have all these servings of food when you locked in the bunker when the apocalypse is happening. Oh my goodness. 2,500, 28 buckets. Bong rip. There we go. Bong rip.
8 years of bulk food.
8 years of food.
This is what you should be doing. Wow.
8 years.
You're the rights preacher. You told me to do this. Look at they got shovels. By the way, get a shovel. These are foldable shovels. It'll go in your backpack. This is how you dig the latrine. We made up. They've been cooking during the show. Wow. And this rice is hot. Woo, just me.
Oh, we about to eat it. Here we go. He just grabbed his hand. He just put his hand right in it. So he's trying to convince you that like these buckets is the bee's knees, the must have. When the end of the world comes and you locked in and there's no help, you're gonna wish you had these 28 buckets of food for 2,500. And like he said, they were in the back cooking up a couple of the buckets. This is the rice. He scooped up a little bit of the rice with the shovel that he said used to dig a latrine. So I guess that's the seasoning for the rice, but he grabbed about a handful like he was like not saying in the brain. Hold on. Did he make a grunt? Did I hear that? Like it hurt his teeth? Did that joint hurt his teeth?
Wow. I think they just cooked this rice, you know. I'm hungry. I've been on this show for about 5 hours.
This isn't business, it's personal. He's supposed to be selling the rice, but he's too hungry to think about that. He got to eat. I thought he was eating an apple. That's a handful of rice. He went caveman on him. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Wild Bill. You have a good one. Have a good night at work. Definitely. You enjoy yourself. Oh, hey, don't worry about chatting. It's totally fine. I just hope I'm entertaining.
I shouldn't put my hands in them.
Yes, the replay.
I love you, man. I love you too.
He wiped his hand on the back of his shirt. Did you see that? He still got rice. You ain't supposed to eat with your mouth full. Hold on. He on a sneak tip, the same hand. Okay, he wipes the mouth. Then he gonna tell dude he love him and wipe his hand on the back of his shirt.
Oh my goodness, I'm eating rice on the show. Okay. So you three guys, could you dump it into here?
Hold on.
It's 20.
Where did I love you, man?
Of rice.
Hold on, where did I love you, man? I didn't get my I love you, man. Oh, there we go. Yeah, after he ate the rice, there we go. Here we go. I love you, man, and wipe his hand on the back of his shirt. I love you too. See? He rubbed it up and down. Dirty mother.
So you three guys.
He messed his Brooks Brothers shirt up.
It's 22 gallons of rice. Here, John, you shovel it. Okay, shovel it back over there.
22 gallons of rice. I don't even know what that means.
Wow. Okay, look at this.
He about to make a stew.
Look at this.
Oh.
Would I love to put my hands in there, but it's hot. This is
The cheesy broccoli rice.
Look at the broccoli in there. Wow. Look at the broccoli.
I thought it was some curry something. That's cheese. I thought it was mustard.
Want that on the top of a pizza? If I went.
Oh, no, don't say that. Don't talk about pizza with that.
Wow. Let's dump this in with the rice. There it goes. We're dumping 22 gallons into the rice. There it goes. Into the rice.
Okay. He about to make a feast. He about to make them eat it.
What did you have to survive?
He about to make them drink the Kool-Aid. They're digging their own grave and they don't know it. He about to tell all of them to mix all that crap together, which clearly didn't come out of that bucket, but either way. And then he's about to force them to eat it. I'm allergic to squares.
For 3 years, you're gonna need some more food. But
I have cheese all over my mouth. I'm sure I need a napkin.
And you're doing.
Hold on. Oh, this ain't the same one I saw earlier.
But if these events
He choked on it.
because the world's gonna be on fire, and we never really dealt with. But if the world's on fire, there's not gonna be anybody there to put it out. Wow. We ought to just get a bunch.
Oh, man. That wasn't the. Oh, I gotta find another one. There's one where he chews on the food. I guess he tries that slop, some like chili nacho something, and he actually chokes. And that's what I thought was about to buy. I do not want any of that, but y'all can get 28 buckets worth of that stuff for only $2,500 for the post-apocalyptic party. And you mix it with the latrine shovel and you invite all your friends. And they probably won't be your friend after you serve them that stuff. So boom, let me get the next video in the chamber. Oh, thank you, Wild Bill. Yeah, don't forget to hit the like button. So hold on, what was I doing? Oh yeah. I was trying to get the next video. If the drinks is kind of getting to me. Oh, I was laughing too much. That hurt my stomach. That was like 2 body shots. That was definitely like 2 body shots. But I'm feeling pretty good. I enjoyed that. I thought it was going to be way more laughs. I thought it was going to be more potent. There was like a song involved and some more crap. So I got a bad version. But that did it. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. It's the Big Les Show. Okay, the Big Les Show. Shoot. Wild Bill left. That's my fault. Okay, we saw the Urban Legends. Okay, boom. No, yeah, this will show how old I am. Oh, I'm so sorry. I really didn't mean to do that. That's the rudest thing that could have possibly happened ever. But the drinks just had me. I couldn't have it. I didn't mean it. Next, we're about to go down memory lane for some people. I'm sure I just saw the rerun version of things. that's kind of how it was for me when I was young in the early 80s, 81, 82, 83. I was watching I guess, reruns or the syndicated stuff from like 76 and 74 and crap like that. But these are definitely shows I remember, and a lot of them were funky. Let's go.
I'm your host, Ed Simeon, and tonight we have a
Whoa.
really big show for you.
Get 'em, boys. Get 'em.
Sir, he's Tracy. I'm Bong.
Whoa.
25. Weirdest 1970s. TV show too good to forget. Remember Saturday mornings? Bowl of
Cartoons?
cereal,
Hell yeah.
PJs,
Oh, Mikey.
Watching shows that modern streaming wouldn't dare recommend. The 70s weren't just
Mikey, was that Land of the Lost?
different. They were beautifully bizarre. Space garbage collectors, telepathic housewives.
Yeah, like the 70s TV shows was a real acid trip, especially for the crap for kids.
Secret agent chimps and nuclear-powered luxury trains filled our shag-carpeted living rooms with pure imagination. Only true 70s kids survived these psychedelic adventures that shaped our childhoods.
What's up, Davey?
Oh, man.
There's nobody here but us monkeys.
The
So
fucking
grab your
monkey.
Kool-Aid and
I definitely used to see the monkeys when I was younger. It would come on in the afternoon, so I guess like the summertime was when I would mostly see it, I suppose, or I guess when I was off of school. But I definitely remember seeing the monkeys.
join us as we go through 25 forgotten gems from television's wildest era.
Oh my
Hi there.
Oh,
I'm a
shoot.
cool pop. This is how you buy me at the grocery.
Whoa.
Breakfast. Lunch. I said lunch, not lunch.
Oh, okay. Ha ha.
Space. 1999. Remember the night ABC reran the pilot of Space, 1999?
No.
I was 12, sprawled on shag
Wow.
carpet while that heartbeat-like theme pounded through the walnut console. One minute we're in 1975, the next, boom.
Was that supposed to be a spoof? Or was that just, because of the special effects and technology they had? I wasn't sure, but Space Night, I remember seeing things when I was younger that were Space 1999. I guess when my mother would take me to, what's them things? Flea markets and whatnot. And people with yard sales and people selling their old stuff. So I remember seeing a lot of that. I didn't know what it was, so I didn't buy it, but I definitely remember that logo and know that was a
Waste
thing.
blows the moon clean out of orbit, and we're hitchhiking the universe with 311 souls on Moonbase Alpha.
I remember Buck Rogers.
Jaw set like a steel trap, stalks those antiseptic white corridors. Comlock dangling at his hip. Dr. Helena Russell steadies everyone with that soft-spoken triage calm, even when a time warp steals half the crew's memories.
Okay.
Professor Victor Bergman quotes Shakespeare. Hotshot pilot Alan Carter straps into an eagle, and those modular orange landing pods click together like giant matchbox toys. Every episode felt like Russian roulette.
Oh, that was the other thing. Just about everything had a toy line. I know, especially in the 80s, pretty much they only made cartoons just so that would make the kids want to buy the toys. So I'm guessing a lot of things, the effects, and the way things were modeled were used for merchandising.
1 week, a Lovecraft squid lurks in Dragon's domain. Next,
Okay.
a cosmic mirror swaps Koenig with his evil double. No phasers, no tractor beams, just stun guns, vacuum
Oh.
suits, and hope. When the closing titles rolled over Barry Gray's eerie strings, I'd stare out the screen door at the full moon, half expecting it to drift away before morning.
This is like the Sci-Fi Channel, maybe. That dude looked familiar.
Quark, 1977 to 1978. Even among die-hard sci-fi fanatics, Quark remains the holy grail of "I swear this existed" TV memories. This cosmic comedy lasted a mere 8 episodes.
Damn.
Yet anyone who caught it remembers every bizarre minute. Created before sci-fi parodies were common, Quark
Okay.
followed space garbage collector Adam Quark and his dysfunctional crew aboard a cosmic trash scow. The crew? Pure 70s madness. Identical
shoot.
clone navigators. The Bettys, who hated each other. A transmute named Gene or Jean, who flipped between male and female personalities.
Wow.
Is the ship's engineer and a transmute a being who possesses male and female genes, influencing genes. Ficus Pandorata, a plant man science officer with Spock-like emotionlessness. And let's not forget Andy the robot.
Andy the robot.
Erotic machine constantly on the...
Yeah, no sci-fi would be complete without the robot droid. Danger, Will Robinson, danger.
Verge of a breakdown. While Star Wars and Star Trek played it straight, Quark gave us episodes featuring giant space chickens, planetary pollination dances, and an evil organization called Fist. The show's crown jewel? May the Source Be With You, a Star Wars parody that aired mere months after the original film hit theaters.
Oh, wow.
NBC pulled the plug faster than a Ferengi abandoning a bad deal. But Quark achieved immortality in sci-fi circles, where fans still trade grainy VHS copies and debate which episode featured the most outlandish alien costume. In a universe of forgettable shows, Quark remains wonderfully, weirdly unforgettable.
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
Something extra. 1973 to 1974. If
Don't
that
think
theme
I heard
song
of
just
that
tickled
either.
something in your memory bank, congratulations. You're part of the exclusive club who witnessed one
I'm
of the most
old,
delightful
so I don't remember
sitcoms
this.
of the decade. The girl with
Oh,
something
shoot.
extra.
Sally
starring the eternally
Field.
perky Sally Field as newlywed Sally Burton.
I remember her as
A woman with
Gidget.
one tiny marital complication. She could read minds. Her husband
Oh,
John
shoot.
discovered this bombshell on their wedding night. Imagine that you're honeymooning with your dream girl when suddenly she answers questions you never asked out loud. This was the premise that kept viewers glued to their sets
Is that
for
Carol
22
Burnett? No.
glorious episodes. The show masterfully blended
I know her,
supernatural
though.
elements with domestic comedy, creating scenarios only the 70s could deliver. Remember,
She was in
everything
Breaking.
you wanted to hide and couldn't, where John's private fantasies about other women became painfully public knowledge to his telepathic wife, or the episode where Sally's gift helps catch a neighborhood burglar but nearly ruins their dinner party. The supporting
Oh,
cast
wow.
included Yvonne Wilder as Sally's best friend Minerva, Jack Sheldon as neighbor Jerry, and Henry Jones as Sally's protective father Owen, each adding layers to this peculiar family dynamic.
Okay, yeah, I don't know
While
nothing about
NBC
that.
pulled the plug
Dang.
after just one season, The Girl with
That was
Something
old.
Extra remains a perfect time capsule of that uniquely 70s blend. Wholesome family
That
values
haircut,
mixed with
that
super
iron
goodness.
bang.
Unlike today's cynical paranormal shows, Sally's mind reading wasn't used for crime solving or world saving, just navigating the treacherous waters of newlywed life, one awkward thought at a time. The Magician,
Okay.
1973 to 1974. If you ever wondered what would happen if David Copperfield became Batman, The
Okay,
Magician
I think I
answered
do
that
remember
question with
this.
spellbinding flair. Starring Bill
Sci-Fi
Bixby,
Channel.
years before he turned green as the Incredible Hulk, this NBC curiosity followed Tony Blake, a world-famous illusionist
Oh, wow.
who used his magical expertise to solve crimes and help the innocent. What made this show truly special was its commitment to authentic magic. Bixby performed real illusions with no camera tricks or special effects. Remember when he levitated a woman while thieves cracked a safe below her? Or escaped from a locked freezer using only his wits and sleight of hand? Each episode featured jaw-dropping magical sequences that had viewers questioning reality before the
Okay.
commercial break. But the true magic was in the lifestyle. Blake lived in a customized Boeing 720 jet aircraft named the Spirit and drove his signature Corvette right up the loading ramp.
Oh,
His
so
mobile
this is like
headquarters was
Knight
equipped with a
Rider.
fully stocked magic workshop, performance space, and cutting-edge technology. In the pre-internet era, this was the ultimate fantasy setup. Supporting characters
Ah.
included Dominic, his loyal assistant, Joseph Sorolla, and Jerry the pilot. But the real
Oh,
co-star was the
shoot.
magic itself. Each week, viewers tuned in not just for the
Oh,
mystery,
shoot.
but to see what impossible feat Blake would perform next. Despite lasting only 21 episodes, The Magician
that one
left an
season?
indelible mark on 70s television, blending crime drama with genuine magical entertainment. In an
Oh,
era
that's
before
cool.
CGI made anything possible, Bixby's ability to create wonder using only his hands and mind felt like actual sorcery beamed directly into America's living rooms. Super Train, 1979. If Titanic
Don't know
had
that
wheels
either. Oh, is
and
that a
no reactor,
Hummer? I mean,
we'd
what's the
get
joint?
Super
The
Train,
the
most
Tesla truck?
spectacular failure in NBC's history. This luxury train was supposed to be the Love Boat on rails, costing the network a staggering $10 million.
The Love Boat on the rails. A subway version of the Love Boat. Yeah, not having that ocean scenery kind of makes a difference.
been spent to make it look real. It exists.
This is
only
like
here
prison.
on Soundstage.
Yeah, that's the
most
Cybertruck.
expensive set ever made for a TV program.
That's over $40 million today.
Yeah, that's the Cybertruck.
To produce just 9 painful episodes before derailment.
9 episodes. It did better than the other one. It got 8.
Machine capable of crossing this country in 36 hours.
A nuclear-powered superliner racing coast to
I
coast.
thought this was going to be cartoons, not real-life TV shows. This is what I get for not pre-screening. I'm bombing.
Dramatic entanglements to fill a soap opera. The massive train set was so expensive that when it crashed during filming, yes, the model train actually crashed, rebuilding it nearly bankrupted the network. The ensemble cast included Steve Lawrence as entertainment director, Nita Talbot as the resident fortune teller, and a rotating door of guest stars trapped on America's most luxurious transportation nightmare. Episodes featured everything from murder mysteries to romantic triangles, none of which could save the show from its inevitable crash. Super Train remains legendary in television history, not for its quality, but as the ultimate cautionary tale of network excess. Television executives still whisper its name when budget discussions get too ambitious. Despite its short run, the show's reputation
Well, I don't know
as
about that
the most
now.
expensive failure in TV history.
Because I think Rings of Power, they spent $1 billion on that. Like acquiring the rights and making like the 2-3 seasons that they made.
Ensures it will never be forgotten, no matter how hard NBC tries to erase it from their corporate memory. The San Pedro Beach Bums, 1977. If Baywatch met the Big Lebowski, you'd get the San Pedro Beach Bums, a sun-soaked slice of late 70s California, dreaming that barely lasted 10 episodes. This feel-good sitcom followed 5 lovable beach-dwelling misfits who lived on a rickety houseboat called Our Boat in San Pedro Harbor. The crew included smooth-talking leader Buddy, Stuart Pankin, neurotic dancer, John Mark Robinson, culinary enthusiast Stuff, Daryl McCullough, gentle giant Moose, Christopher Murney, and ladies' man boy chick, Fred Williard. Together, they pursued an endless summer of odd jobs, romantic misadventures, and beach bum philosophy while somehow never getting actual sunburns. The show's most memorable episode, when Charlie's Angels, yes, the actual Charlie's Angels.
What? Did a crossover episode? Oh, I know that had to be huge for a show that got cut off next season.
Guest starred to save a beauty pageant. The crossover episode brought Farrah Fawcett, Kate Jackson, and Jacqueline Smith to the Bums world, creating the kind of television event that would break Twitter had it existed back then. Despite its premature cancellation, the San Pedro Beach Bums perfectly captured the late 70s California aesthetic. Feathered hair, open shirts, casual attitudes, and the promise that living in a ramshackle boat with your bros might actually be the American dream. For a brief, shining moment, these beach bums made...
Like, all of these are some pretty interesting premises. They're all over the place. Nothing seems to be a copy of anything else. These are all very original ideas. These, like, oh, damn, I never even thought about doing a show on a boat. I think, Larry had one on Three's Company. I think it was him, and then it sank. Is that what happened?
Unemployment looked like the ultimate career choice. When Things Were Rotten, 1975, before Mel Brooks brought us Robin Hood Men in Tights on the big screen, he tested the waters with this criminally short-lived ABC sitcom.
On a time when things were rotten, not just food but also kings were rotten. Everybody kicked the peasants. Things were bad and that
Turned the Sherwood Forest into a playground for slapstick mayhem. When Things Were Rotten lasted just 13 episodes, but packed more laughs per minute than shows twice its length. Dick Gautier starred as a hilariously incompetent Robin Hood.
So, hold on. Is this like their answer to Monty Python, like Search for the Holy Grail and crap?
A band of merry men who were anything but merry or competent. Dick Van Patten's Friar Tuck was more interested in feasting than fighting. Bernie Copel's Alan Adale broke the fourth wall to narrate their misadventures. And Misty Rose made Marion brought beauty and brains to this bumbling operation.
Okay, that seems
the
interesting.
show's trademark became its gleeful anachronisms. Medieval characters referencing modern pop culture, using contemporary slang, and winking at the audience. One episode featured Robin and the gang infiltrating Prince John's dungeon in conga outfits.
Yeah, he said break the fourth
while another
wall.
brought in Dudley Moore as a scheming chef trying to marry Marion. Brooks' rapid-fire gag approach meant that if one joke fell flat, 3 more would hit before you had time to notice.
Yeah.
Though audiences in 1975 weren't ready for this anarchic approach to a beloved legend, the show's DNA lives on in Brooks' later work and practically invented the template for parody comedies that followed. When Things Were Rotten was
What?
simply too weird, too fast, and too brilliant for its time. The Bugaloos, 1970 to 1972.
Okay.
Welcome to the trippiest corner of Saturday morning TV.
Frankenberry.
Frankenberry. Oh yes, I remember this. And Fat Out. There we go. The cartoon. Schoolhouse Rock. Now this is what I expected. That's the stuff I remember. Like I said, that was like older 70s stuff, but they were still showing the replays when I was much younger. I guess by the time, I was in like the 3rd grade, they wasn't really showing the whole episode of Schoolhouse Rock. They would just cut snippets of it and use it in the commercial time.
He likes it. Hey, Mikey.
Where British teenagers with butterfly wings sang psychedelic pop tunes in a magical forest.
Yeah.
The Bugaloos was the fever dream of
Okay.
Sid and Marty Krofft, the puppet masters behind some of the decade's most hallucinatory children's programming.
HR
The premise?
Puppet stuff.
4
Yeah.
British teens with insect features: joy, courage, harmony, and IQ.
Captain Planet. The
Former
Power
rock
Rangers.
band in the Technicolor Tranquility Forest. Their musical aspirations were constantly thwarted by Benita Bazar, played by Martha Ray, a tone-deaf witch who lived in a giant jukebox and was jealous of their talent. Each episode featured original bubblegum pop songs performed by the Bugaloos, interspersed with slapstick comedy and chase scenes through the psychedelic landscape.
I barely
Benita's
remember that.
sidekicks, Woofer and Tweeter, the living stereo speakers, and Funky Rat added
Dang.
bizarre comic relief that
Like this is so old that some of the stuff that I thought was dreams when I was younger, like I dreamed it up with like part of these TV shows. And as I get older, I found out where all of that stuff come from or what I was really seeing. And it just must have been a very early memory.
seemed more appropriate for an adult acid trip than a children's program.
I thought they was gonna
Though
play
it
some
lasted only
tunes.
17 episodes, the Bugaloos left an outsized impression on a generation of viewers who couldn't decide if they were entertained or traumatized.
So I think this
The
used to
show's
come on
surreal imagery,
either
British
Channel 7 or
invasion-inspired music,
like public
and
television for
candy-colored
me.
fantasy
Channel
world
32.
epitomized the Krofft brothers' philosophy. Archie 2, 1976. In a post-apocalyptic 25th century where pollution and societal collapse had reduced humanity to primitive tribes,
Okay.
Arca 2 brought environmental messaging and moral lessons to Saturday mornings. This live-action CBS series centered on a futuristic RV, the eponymous Arc 2, that roamed the wasteland with its crew of scientists
The Tesla
on a mission
truck,
to
again.
rebuild civilization. Led by Captain Jonah, Terry Lester,
Terry
alongside
Lester.
scientist Ruth, Jean-Marie Hahn, scholar Samuel, Jose Flores, and,
Okay.
because it was the 70s, a talking chimpanzee named Adam. The team traveled between
Okay,
isolated
yeah.
communities solving problems through
Our chimpanzee was big. What, Smokey and the Bandit and Monkey Business and something else. There's a couple orangutan movies, chimpanzee movies.
Each week delivered heavy-handed environmental morals packaged in 25 minutes of low-budget adventure. The true star was the ARC vehicle itself, a magnificent 44-foot long laboratory on wheels with futuristic capabilities that sparked playground debates nationwide.
Okay.
The crew's transportation arsenal also included
And I
the
think I
Rover,
seen a toy of
a
this
dune
too.
buggy-like vehicle, and
Like
Jonah's
that
personal
truck.
jetpack, which mysteriously worked despite the fuel shortage that supposedly caused civilization's downfall. While the show lasted only 15 episodes, Arc 2 continues
The
to resonate
Rocketeer.
with environmentalists who see it as eerily prescient.
Or
Its
Captain
unique
Planet.
blend of post-apocalyptic setting with optimistic problem-solving embodied the 70s ethos that technology and good intentions could overcome even the most catastrophic human errors. If
Okay.
only we had cool enough vehicles. Lancelot
If
Link
we only had
Secret
cool enough
Ship,
vehicles.
1970 to 1972. Before CGI allowed animals to talk on screen, ABC gave us Lancelot Link Secret Chimp, a show that answered the question nobody asked. What if James Bond was a chimpanzee? This Saturday morning fever dream
Oh, shoot.
featured an all-chimp cast dressed in human clothes, with human voice actors dubbing over their movements to create the illusion of talking primates. Our hero, Lancelot Link, worked for the agency to
That's creative as hell. Oh my goodness.
battling the criminal organization Chump, led by Baron von Butcher.
I'd love to be little, and I'd love to have seen this
Chimps drove
as
miniature
being little.
cars, operated tiny telephones, and performed in a rock band called the Evolution Revolution during musical interludes. Each 30-minute
Okay, so we're
episode
not gonna
featured
get to
2
hear no,
spy parody segments filled with painful puns and sight gags that ranged from
No
inspired
tunes
to
from the show,
uncomfortable.
unfortunately.
The production
That
required
sucks.
extraordinary patience from trainers who spent hours getting chimps to approximate human behaviors, resulting in what one TV critic called the most expensive home movies ever made.
Holy crap.
Despite its relatively short run, Lancelot Link achieved legendary status in the pantheon of weird television. Modern viewers might cringe at the animal welfare implications, but 70s kids remember it as the pinnacle of absurdist programming, a simian satire that made perfect sense.
This is like the Planet of the Apes people. The people who remade it.
1975.
This is what
If
they saw.
Doctor Who collided with the Honeymooners and removed all scientific logic, you'd get the Lost Saucer. This Sid and Marty Krofft fever dream starred comedy legends Jim Nabors and Ruth Buzzy as Fee and Fum.
I know that
bickering
face. Isn't that
androids
Gomer
from the year
Pyle?
3000 who accidentally kidnapped a boy named Jerry and his babysitter Alice on a routine visit to 1975. One push of the wrong button and their flying saucer became hopelessly lost in time, sending our foursome bouncing through different eras each week. The time travel premise allowed
Like
for endless
Voyagers.
fish out of water scenarios, cavemen discovering bubblegum.
It was a show, Voyagers, that kind of reminds me of something like that. It was a guy, I guess, wearing pirate clothes, and he had a time travel device that would take you to different times, and it was a little boy. What was his name? Bog was the guy. I forget what the boy's name was. Was it Kevin? And he had like a red and white striped shirt and curly hair, and he was the narrator of like, oh, this must be 1875 is where we're at. He like to look at the little time travel communicator. Oh, this must be the Revolutionary War. This is when something. Like he was the history buff. So he was basically explaining to the kids what was going on. So this seems like the predecessor somewhat to that. And then I guess also reminds me of Quantum Leap a little bit.
Futuristic worlds where adults acted like children, and dystopian societies run by giant vegetables. The show's low-budget
Whoa.
charm was epitomized by the saucer itself, a wobbly set that spun while psychedelic lights flashed, inevitably followed by Neighbors and Buzzy being thrown across
Finally.
the room in exaggerated pratfalls. Their robot dog Dorse, who inexplicably meowed instead of barked, completed the bizarre ensemble. Though it lasted just 16 episodes, The Lost Saucer...
Damn, they was cutting all these joints off close. They was
approach
too
to
weird.
children's entertainment. Colorful, nonsensical, mildly terrifying, and guaranteed to lodge itself permanently in the
There we go.
subconscious
Thank you.
of every child who witnessed it. For a show about time travel, its most impressive feat
Yeah, I
was
definitely
making
thought
30
this was gonna
minutes
be all
feel simultaneously
cartoons.
endless and instantly
And
forgettable.
short.
The Star Lost, 1973 to 1974. Science fiction legend.
Okay, I
Wallace
can't take
created
it.
What should have been television's most groundbreaking
I
space
can't
drama,
take it. It's
then
too much
washed in horror
mundane
as it became
talking.
a
Where we at?
legendary
Stop it. I can't take it. I'm sorry. I'm not even interested anymore. It was too much. I don't even care that bad. I really don't that bad. I'm sorry to put y'all through that. I tried to power through it, but I couldn't do it. I just couldn't. If y'all want me to put it back on, just let me know, but I couldn't do it. Okay, seems like we got a winner. I'm sorry about that, Steven. We're going to keep going. For you,
I'm your host, Ed Simeon, and tonight
where was we at? We was at... Okay, the chimpanzee stuff. Okay, the Power Rangers. The All Monkey Show. Lost Saucer.
Fun, while psychedelic lights flashed,
Okay.
inevitably followed by Neighbors and Buzzy, being thrown across the room in exaggerated pratfalls.
Okay.
Their robot dog Dorse, who inexplicably meowed instead of barked, completed the bizarre ensemble. Though it lasted just 16 episodes, The Lost Saucer
Probably
perfectly
where we were,
encapsulated
cool.
the Croft brothers' approach to children's entertainment. Colorful,
Okay.
nonsensical, mildly terrifying, and guaranteed
It's
to
like
leave
Hee Haw for
permanently in the
kids.
subconscious of every child who witnessed it. For a show about time travel, its most impressive feat was making 30 minutes feel simultaneously endless and instantly forgettable. The Star Lost, 1973 to
Okay.
1974. Science fiction legend Harlan Ellison created what should have been television's most groundbreaking space drama, then watched in horror
What is
as
it?
it became a legendary disaster.
Oh, shoot.
The Star Lost began with a brilliant concept. Centuries after Earth's destruction,
Okay.
humanity survives aboard Earthship Ark, a massive generation starship containing hundreds of self-contained biospheres, each housing different cultures who've forgotten they're on a spaceship. When Devon discovers the truth, that the ship is damaged and on a collision course with a star, he
Oh,
embarks
shoot.
on a desperate journey through the ship's diverse environments to save humanity. Accompanied by medical expert Rachel and engineer Garth, Devon faced both technological challenges and the suspicious inhabitants of different domes each week. But behind the scenes, chaos reigned. Ellison was so horrified by budget cuts and creative interference that he had his name removed
Okay.
from the credits, using the pseudonym Cordwainer Bird instead. The show's revolutionary special effects system failed spectacularly, leaving actors performing against unconvincing rear projection. Scripts were rewritten by producers who didn't understand science fiction,
Oh,
resulting
shoot.
in nonsensical plots and dialogue. Despite lasting 16 episodes,
Now, this sound like modern
Star
day.
Lost is remembered more for what it could have been than what it was. Science fiction writers still discuss the show as a cautionary tale of brilliant concepts undermined by television production realities. For a series about humanity's
Wow.
last hope, its greatest achievement was showing how quickly a stellar idea could collapse into a black hole of missed opportunity. Electra Woman and Dinah Girl, 1976. Before Wonder Woman dominated TV screens,
Oh, shoot.
Saturday mornings gave us the glorious camp of Electra Woman and Dinah Girl.
Oh, I
This
definitely don't
Sid
remember
and
this.
Marty Croft creation featured journalists Lori and Judy, Deidre Hall, and Judy Strangis, who transformed into spandex-clad superheroines with the help of their Electrocom's wrist devices that looked suspiciously like bedazzled calculator watches.
Okay.
Operating from their high-tech
Oh,
Electra
shoot.
base, under the guidance of scientist Frank Heflin, the dynamic duo battled outlandish villains with names like Spider Lady, the Empress of Evil, and
Okay.
Glitter Rock. Each baddie was more flamboyant than the last, sporting the kind of costumes that could only exist in the fabric-obsessed 1970s. The show's superpower was its absolute commitment to the format, dividing each adventure into two 12-minute segments, complete
Okay.
with comic book-style Zap and POW, graphics and cliffhanger endings accompanied by dramatic narrator voiceovers. The Electrocraft vehicle,
Like Batman?
which resembled a flying dune buggy with disco lights, embodied the series' perfect blend of ambition and budget constraints. Though it lasted just 16 episodes as part of the Croft Super Show, Electra Woman and Dinah Girl proved influential enough to spawn a 2016 web series reboot. For a
Oh, shoot.
generation of kids, these crime-fighting journalists with their catchy theme song and color-coordinated capes represented the pinnacle of girl
That's
power
interesting to know.
years before the term
Okay.
was coined. Bigfoot and Wild Boy, 1977 to 1979. The ultimate wilderness buddy story nobody talks about.
Harry and the
When a
Henderson.
feral child is adopted by the legendary Bigfoot, they become an unlikely crime-fighting duo in the Pacific Northwest. This Croft Brothers Saturday morning staple featured Bigfoot's super strength and Wild Boy's jungle instincts to battle eco-villains and supernatural threats. Most memorable?
Okay.
The episode where they encountered aliens whose spaceship caused earthquake tremors.
Oh, shoot.
Despite its low budget, Bigfoot's costume was notoriously hot and uncomfortable. The show developed a cult following that persists in today's cryptid-obsessed internet culture.
Okay.
Korg 70,000 BC, 1974 to 1975. Wait till you see how this live-action prehistoric drama attempted serious anthropology between Saturday morning commercials. Following a Neanderthal family led by Korg, Jim Melinda, the show tackled survival challenges against saber-toothed tigers and rival tribes with surprising educational accuracy. Burgess Meredith's
shoot.
authoritative narration lent scientific credibility, while the cast grunted through primitive language. Though it lasted just 16 episodes,
Oh,
Korg
I've
represented
seen
a
that
bold attempt to
before.
bring actual science to children's programming. despite the inevitable limitations of portraying Ice Age dangers on a Saturday morning budget. The Ghostbusters, 1975 to 1976. Years before Murray and Aykroyd, this supernatural comedy featured a gorilla wearing a fedora as part of the ghost hunting team. Forrest Tucker and Larry Storch played Jake Kong and Eddie Spencer, bumbling detectives who received assignments via self-destructing tape recorder from their unseen boss, Zero. Their sidekick, Tracy, was literally a gorilla in
like on what's that, Mission Impossible or whatever. This message was self-destruct.
Human clothes who carried their ghost detecting equipment. Each episode followed the trio to a haunted location where they confronted historical ghosts like Billy the Kid or Dr. Jekyll with Spencer's ghost
A lot of these got apes and whatnot.
The success of the 1984 film forced Columbia Pictures to license the name from Filmation, creating one of Hollywood's oddest copyright situations.
Oh, that's where the cartoon came from? Oh, I know this one.
1973 to 1975. Before E.T. taught us to hide aliens, two brothers were concealing a friendly sea monster in their backyard. Sigmund, played by Billy Barty in Rubber Suit, was a lovable outcast from his mean-spirited sea monster family, befriended by Johnny and Scott Stewart. The boys kept Sigmund hidden in their backyard clubhouse while avoiding his seaweed-covered relatives, Big Daddy Ooze, Sweet Mama Ooze, and brothers Blurp and Slurp, who wanted to drag him out to their seaside cave. The Croft Brothers creation charmed viewers with its gentle message of accepting differences, and Johnny Whitaker's catchy theme song remains embedded in 70s kids' memories decades later.
I've seen that name
Secrets
before.
of Isis, 1975 to 1977. Television's first female superhero wasn't Wonder Woman. It was an Egyptian goddess disguised as a science teacher.
Oh, shoot.
When archaeologist Andrea Thomas discovered an ancient amulet,
like
she
Moon
gained the
Knight.
ability to transform into Isis by reciting, "Oh mighty Isis." Her powers included flight, super strength, and control over natural elements.
Whoa.
Actress Joanna Cameron brought grace and authority to both her classroom and crime-fighting duties, creating a role model for young viewers. The show's Egyptian mythology theme and moral lessons made it educational as well as entertaining. Most memorably, Isis frequently crossed over with Shazam for team-up episodes.
Oh, nice. I remember
television's
that.
First shared superhero universe years before Marvel made it standard practice. Captain Caveman and the Teen Angels.
Captain
1977 to 1980.
Caveman.
Imagine if Charlie's Angels discovered a frozen prehistoric superhero with a club that contained infinite gadgets. This Hanna-Barbera cartoon starred a hairy caveman voiced by Mel Blanc, who was thawed from a block of ice by three teen sleuths, Brenda, Dee Dee, and Taffy.
From Looney Tunes.
When trouble struck, Captain Caveman would shout his catchphrase, "Captain Caveman," and pull impossibly large objects from his fur. The show combined elements of Scooby-Doo mystery solving
Josie
with
and the
superhero action,
Pussycats,
creating
right?
a uniquely 70s concoction that ran for 40 episodes across 3 seasons. Captain Caveman's incomprehensible speech, punctuated with occasional modern slang, and the trio's disco-era fashion choices perfectly captured the decade's
Oh, okay. I thought that was
cartoon
Josie and the
aesthetic. Space
Pussycat.
Academy, 1977 to
Space Academy.
1979. Before Star Trek The Next Generation
Oh, shoot,
put Wesley
okay.
Crusher at the helm, this show featured teenagers training to protect the galaxy. Set in the year 3732, Space Academy followed
3000
cadets
AD.
at an asteroid-based training facility, led by Commander
That was my
Isaac
James Earl Jones.
The diverse young crew included telepathic siblings, an alien with superhuman strength, and a diminutive orphan with his robot companion. The show's model work and special effects were impressive for Saturday morning television, using many of the same techniques as Star Wars.
Okay.
Most memorably, the teen cadets piloted Seeker spacecraft on rescue missions that taught valuable lessons about teamwork and responsibility.
Everything had this moral
creating a
code, I
science
see.
fiction
Valuable
show with
lessons.
educational value that parents actually approved of. Man from Atlantis, 1977 to 1978. Patrick Duffy as a
Okay, that's what I
mysterious
thought it was,
amnesiac
step
with
by
webbed
step.
hands, able to breathe underwater and withstand extreme ocean depths.
And Falcon's Crest.
Mark Harris, Duffy, was the apparent sole survivor of Atlantis. discovered washed ashore and recruited by the Foundation for Oceanic Research. His underwater abilities, including swimming at incredible speeds with a distinctive dolphin-like motion Duffy created himself, made him the perfect oceanic investigator. The show began as 4 successful TV movies before becoming a series, featuring ocean-based threats and the villainous Mr. Schubert, Victor Buono. Though it lasted just 13 episodes, the unique underwater filming techniques and
none of these shits really made it.
Unforgettable. Until Dallas came calling and he traded his flippers
Like
for
2 seasons, like Netflix.
Shrinker, 1976 to 1977. 3 teenagers shrunk to 6 inches tall by a mad scientist. In their weekly attempts to escape his island while dodging now gigantic everyday threats. Part of the Croft Super Show,
Honey, I Shrunk the
this serial
Kids.
featured the maniacal Dr. Shrinker, Jay Robinson, and his assistant Hugo pursuing the Shrinkies with increasingly bizarre contraptions. The ingenious special effects created a world where pencils became logs, and house cats were terrifying monsters. The show's memorable theme song, Dr. Shrinker, he's a madman with an evil mind.
I thought it was a really evil thinker.
Even as the plot repeatedly reset, with the teens failing to escape by episode's end. Though it lasted just 1 season, its creative premise and distinctive villain made it a standout in the Croft catalog.
Mr.
Far
Roper.
Out Space Nuts.
Space
1975
Nuts.
to 1976.
Space Nuts.
What happens when Gilligan accidentally launches himself into space? Bob Denver and Chuck McCann starred as NASA maintenance workers who accidentally hit launch instead of lunch on a rocket they were servicing.
Oh, we saw it.
Along with their
Okay.
alien companion Honk, Junior and Barney encountered bizarre planets and extraterrestrial civilizations each week. The Croft production embraced absurdist humor.
The
with
Croft,
Denver
another
essentially
one.
playing Gilligan in space, fumbling through cosmic adventures with childlike innocence.
Wow.
Despite limited special effects and obvious budget constraints, the show's goofy charm and Denver's perfect comic timing made it memorable, if not exactly scientifically accurate.
Okay.
Saturday morning entertainment. Monster Squad. 1976
Oh,
to
shoot. I remember that
1977.
movie.
Wait until you hear this premise. Dracula, Frankenstein's monster, and the Wolfman working for a crime
Yeah,
family
that
to
was the
fight
movie
evil.
when I was little.
This Saturday morning live-action series featured the classic movie monsters as heroes protecting a wax museum. When criminology student Walt, Fred Grandy, later of The Love Boat, activated a special crime computer, it brought the monsters to life to help solve cases. Buck Kartalian played Bruce W. Wolfe, the Wolfman. Henry Palistu portrayed Dracula. And Michael Lane was Frank Enstein. The trio would use their monster abilities, super strength, transformation, and hypnosis to battle criminals while teaching
Oh, Dracula, I guess, got hypnosis.
Though it lasted just 1 season, the show's
Another
unique
one.
concept of redeeming classic monsters anticipated monster hero trends decades later. As these bizarre gems fade back into the rainbow-colored haze of television history, one thing remains clear. We'll never see shows like these again. No algorithm would dare suggest them. No focus group would approve them. And no executive would greenlight them. But for those of us who sprawled on that shag carpet every Saturday morning, these weird wonders didn't just entertain us, they shaped us. So next time someone asks why you're a little strange, just smile and say, I survived 70s television. And really, what higher badge of honor could there be?
You know what? That I can't. Once I started thinking about it, I was like, yeah. A lot of the cartoons that I watched, I guess from like 81, so I'd have been what, like 4, 82, 83. They didn't make it more than 1 season. Like I think Menudo was a cartoon, and like what was a Pac-Man was a cartoon, and what the fuck was the car boy, the boy who turned into a car, Turbo Teen. Like that was like a season or 2. So yeah, a lot of stuff didn't make it when I was young. So I guess it was no different. TV was always an experiment. So thank you, Steven, for making me hang in there and watch the rest of that. I think it was actually worth it. And I saw a lot of great ideas. Like, dang, I see a lot of things in this. And actually, it wouldn't be too bad if all that stuff really came back and they did it again. I think that would be fine. But where we at? Yeah. I see, yeah, my son is peeking into the garage, and I'm coming. And, yeah, I'm going to get out of here. I'm sorry I'm leaving y'all about 20 minutes early. I was going to try and drive y'all into the Keno Casino on Kick. But I appreciate you, Wild Bill. I appreciate you, Steven. Thank you so much. Everybody on Twitch, Rumble, YouTube, Kick. I got to get out of here before I get my butt kicked. I got to go cook dinner. I'll see y'all Sunday, same time, 10 o'clock. And then we'll be back next Monday, same time, 6 o'clock. Y'all enjoy yourself, because I know I did. Body counts at 2. Can we make it, baby? Baby, are you taping? Baby, are you taping?
Can you smell it? What? There's a life force in here tonight. I'm not gonna give you a light. I'm gonna show you the light.
So entertaining! The cinematography, the editing techniques. Though I must say, the villain was a bit over the top.